Before I start, I want to point out the fact that it took me until now to realize the name of the episode, End of the Golden Witch. Was it someone's alarm clock? A repetitive electronic beeping noise filled the room. Battler, who had gone to bed late and hadn't had anywhere near enough sleep yet, covered his head in his blanket and waited for someone to turn off the alarm. But no matter how much time passed, the beeping didn't stop. I see. The point of an alarm clock isn't just to be loud enough to wake you, but to be annoying enough to keep you from wanting to fall back asleep. Hey, you guys. The alarm's going off. Make it stop, please. Why do we always sound so annoyed when first waking up? Well, it does make sense. After all, we're still sleepy and in a bad mood. However, there was absolutely no sign that my annoyed voice had caused anyone to turn over in their sleep, much less crawl out of their bed. Crawl out of bed and stop the alarm. Letting out a deep sigh, I flung the covers off me and got up. Oh, every fucking song here is so beautiful. With the shutters down on the windows, there was almost no light getting in, and the room was as dim as it had been earlier. Though, even if the shutters hadn't been down, there's no way that this dull weather would have let in enough sun to make this a pleasant morning. My cousins were still wrapped up in their beds, sound asleep and taking no notice whatsoever of that beeping. Normally, once any one person gets up, the others tend to automatically follow. Annoyed that the law of consecutive summer camp awakenings that I'd come up with had just been broken, I drowsily searched for the source of the sound. What if only he can hear it? I could hear it coming from a wristwatch set on the table. Judging by the style of the watch, it was probably George Aniki's. Taking a random guess, I pushed a small button on the side of it, and the sound stopped. Apparently, it had been set for 7 in the morning. Is it already 7? Sorry, but I really don't feel like I slept at all. Playing cards had been left on the table, as though they had stopped mid-game. The game looked like 7s. 7, 7. We just need one more 7, bitch. Ain't that what happens at the casino? 3 7s, you win. Damn it! I got a piercing headache. Ooh, just like Natsuki. What the hell was all that last night? That mountain of gold and the subsequent argument between our parents. It all feels like a bad dream. Yes, not that I forgot, but I kind of forgot the last things that happened because it's been over a week since I last played. Sadly. Breakfast normally starts at 8. Ooh, 1 hour before then. Now isn't a bad time to start getting up and getting dressed. The adults probably won't argue in front of us cousins. In that case, I think I'll stay with my cousins all day long. I'm sure they'll be able to keep me away from all that annoying talk about the goals and being the successor and all. In fact, I should have done that in the first place. I slept with my clothes on last night, too, so that I'm drenched in sweat. Gross. I guess I'll take a shower. I'm sure the others want to, too. At this age, it's embarrassing to wake them by shaking their shoulders. If I turn the TV on, everyone will probably wake up. Well, let's at least turn the lights on for now. In this dim light, with the quiet sound of the continuing wind and rain, it really doesn't feel like morning's come yet. I flipped the light switch, and then the dimly lit morning ended. Are they all gonna be dead? What the fucking shit was that? Why did we see that? Why did we see? No. fuck, did I not call it? I thought it was getting a little fucking suspicious what they were. I fucking knew they were gonna do something like this. Wait, is that a shirt he normally wears? Or is it so covered in blood that it looks black now? Dude, I fucking called it! As they clung to Anaki's corpse, knowing that he would never wake up again, Auntie Ava and Uncle Hideyoshi cried. What about everyone else? Wow, we've never seen her face like that. That's Sprite. What in the fuck? Okay. So we were all talking the night before. Maybe they've been dead this entire... He slept with corpses! When Auntie Ava tried even harder to cling to that corpse, Dad and Uncle Hideyoshi dragged her away and had a heated debate with her beside the wall. Look at my fucking boy. What'd they do to him? He's just splattered in that shit. They always put my boy Nanjo on the spot. Listen, my boy can barely... Dr. Nanjo shook his head slightly, then nodded across to where I stood. I softly pulled the blanket up and covered George Anaki's body. Oh shit. His throat had been split wide open? The wound was probably larger and deeper than his... Oh, fuck. Did it look like a clean and neat corpse now that his neck was at least covered? Of course not. The large amount of blood that had spilled from the wound stained the bed a horrible dark red, and even covering him with the blanket couldn't hide the blood that had poured out. After all, there were large, dark red stains on the blanket too, so that even once he was covered with it, the gruesomeness of the body was still being thrust in our faces. So I stripped the blankets off my bed and placed one on top. So my boy Battler, when he came back, they were already dead. They were killed sometime in the night. Right. And my boy was so fucking tired. He came at like, what was it, like 4 a.m.? I think it was 3 a.m. He was so fucking tired. Like, as they said, he walked in, he just went straight to sleep. But I only had 2 blankets. So if I covered just one more body, I wouldn't be able to cover anymore. Feeling pity for the ones I couldn't cover? For some reason, in spite of the situation, I muttered, "Don't complain about not getting the same as everyone else," inside my head. Dude, so it's not just George, it's Jessica as well? Over them. Even Maria. Kirie-san and I covered the other bodies with their blankets in the same way as George Anaki's, so that they wouldn't have to suffer the indignity of having their terrible wounds exposed like this anymore. In one bed rested Jessica. Oh my girl. Jessica was exactly the same as George Anaki. Though she appeared to be resting quietly in the bed, her throat had been sliced deep and the wound lay open in a brutal way. And Maria was the same. Not only Maria, there was one more victim. Lying on the same bed, sleeping alongside her was Auntie Rosa. George, Anaki, Jessica, Maria, and Auntie Rosa. In this room were 4 people who had been killed, their throats sliced open. Wow, I did not expect them to go. They'd probably been like that since last night. And I came back to the room completely ignorant, snuggled under the covers and fell asleep right next to him. That's what I call out. Yes. All of them had a horizontal cross across their throats. Cut. I had been forced to see all the way into the depths of those gashes in everyone's throats. Those cuts might even have reached as far as halfway into their necks. If you tried to open one up, you'd probably be able to see that the gash reached all the way to the bone. Oh shit. The only wounds were the single gash on each neck. So if you just covered their necks with your hand, you might be able to persuade yourself that they were merely sleeping. But even so, this frighteningly deep wound was incredibly gruesome. There's no such thing as clean or dirty. Is a clean or dirty way of killing. All methods of killing are equally brutal. But even so, this was incredibly brutal. Wow. And there was one more thing which adorned these brutal murders to make them even more unsettling. The fucking symbol, drawn very large on the wall, was something like an eerie magic circle. It was drawn in a bright red paint, which looked like blood, making it look as though some disturbing ritual had taken place in this room, with the four of them offered as human sacrifices. However, none of us were paying it any attention. No one has a heart so cold that they could witness the deaths of those close to them and still worry about some graffiti on the wall. Oh, what the hell? Someone knocked? Erica! I completely forgot about her. Are they all gonna blame her? I feel like they're all gonna be at first they liked her, I feel like they're gonna be very turned off by her, or not like her as much anymore, if she's going to act like it's a game. The girl who bragged that she drew more pleasure from the process of exposing the truth than from the truth itself, and who went so far as to call herself an intellectual rapist, appeared in the hall. When she saw the extraordinarily creepy magic circle in this gruesome room, I heard what was unmistakably a sigh of admiration escape her lips. Listen, you're walking into a room full of heightened emotions on Erica's face. No, that's not it. It was in her eyes. In Erica's eyes, I could see a shameless smile that was hard to describe. I'm looking at it right now. It is a smile. She found this entertaining. She found the outbreak of a crime entertaining. It was like the smile of a kid waiting in the wings at a school play, moments before she was due to come on stage. What is that expression? Yes, you're just gonna piss everyone off. It's gonna get really awkward because holy shit. My boy's pissed. Okay.
探偵は全ての現場を検証する権利を持つ。そこをどきなさい、後宮バトラー。これは人間側に認められたゲームの正当な権利よ。
Look at her, bitch. Those words, which seem, look at her fucking portrait. Those words, which seemed to be utterly ridiculous at first, were words of power that had come from a world much higher than theirs. Battler was thrown back by an unseen power and landed on his butt. Struck silent by Erica's quiet intensity and the bizarre, suffocating atmosphere, nobody was able to prevent her from entering the room. So this bitch used magic to force herself in.
死者の尊厳を犯すことが目的ではありませんので、別に喉の切り口なんておぞましいもの覗きたくありませんし、私が知りたいのはもっと別のことです。つまりこの殺人を誰が行ったかです。南條先生、それから皆さん、特に第一発見者のバトラさん、いろいろとお尋ねしたいことがありますのでご協力をお願いします。
Listen, you're a little girl who washed up on an island here with us. And now you're forcing yourself into all of this. None of these motherfuckers are gonna comply with you. I don't care how many times you use the red. There we go, bitch. Holy shit. Battler couldn't argue against this incomprehensible nonsense. No, he wasn't permitted to argue. It was a restriction placed on pieces. I know I was getting angry at her, but I still love her. Erica summoned Dr. Nanjo and got him to tell her in detail about his preliminary findings. Normally, he wouldn't have spoken to that to an outsider so casually. However, for some reason, the atmosphere about the place had begun to make it feel as though nothing should be hidden from Erica. Oh, bitch, he's getting... She frightened him. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. There's only 4 here. What happened to the other 2? So she doesn't necessarily have to see to it that 6 people are killed. So if less than 6 are killed, it's fine? What if none are killed? There's a magic circle on the wall representing the first twilight, similar to the one in Beato's game. Giggle. Oh wait, that girl talks big, but I wonder just how closely she can imitate Beato. Haha, I don't know, I can't laugh right now. Your Hebrew sure is crappy, Lambda. You've got this part slightly wrong. Yeah, oh. Damn, bitch. Yes, I forgot about that shit. Why? You don't you do that shit? What if it's crappy on purpose?
真似どころじゃないわよ。人間の誰かがベアトリーチェ様の仕業に見せかけるためにわざわざ書いたんだわ。とにかくベアトリーチェ様に報告を。
ゴールドスミスの秘密を守る仕事だけでもお腹いっぱいなのに迷惑な話ね。
でも全然美しくない殺人だわ。別に密室でもないし不可能犯罪でもない。こんな無様な殺人ベアトリーチェ様に全然ふさわしくないわ。
Sloppy? I mean, they cut like... It seemed like it was like surgical precision how they cut their throats. That's sloppy to you?
予期せぬ事件に予期せぬ女、そして19年前の予期せぬ男。気分はバトラーに解かれるし、今回のゲームは普段とまるで違う。
Yes.
何がどうなってる？
There's so many wild cards going on. So many. Battler figured the shit out. There's a motherfucker from a 19-year-old fucker here. Like some random dude just hiding around. And he could supposedly, he knows what the fuck Natsuki's up to. He's very focused on her. And then there's this bitch Erica. She just washed up as well. On the island. I like the face they make. That face where she was smiling with the slits in the eyes and shit. That's cute. Yo, dude, I'm loving this bitch. There's so much going on. Again, it's raining, and again, it's raining in real life, man. How does that keep on happening? In the kitchen, Golda was preparing a wonderful breakfast at a brisk pace. The main dish would be herb omelets. Ooh, herb omelet. What herb, bitch? Green herb? Even simple foods could become an invigorating feast under Golda's skillful hands. What does he do to him? He was planning to complete all the other preparations for the meal here beforehand, and then cook their individual omelets fresh before their eyes in the dining hall, serving them up one by one. Damn, bitch. Putting on a show for them, bitch. Fucking 5-star Michelin-star restaurant, bitch. But it's private. Golda hummed as he continued his preparations in high spirits. When Shannon, oh, that's my baby, who was helping out, saw Golda like this, her mood also brightened. I love her. She arranged the salad in a neat little pattern and showed it to Golda. Okay. Cute tomatoes. Are you making them in hearts? That's so cute. The two happy people gave each other a high five. Shannon didn't like Golda when he was sneaky, but she had no problems at all with him when he was cooking happily. She sometimes even thought it would have been nice if his contract hadn't included any jobs besides cooking. If that had been the case, he wouldn't have had to get in a bad mood doing unnecessary jobs. This is very cute. Everybody's happy. Everyone, look at them. They're all smile. I love this. They all look good when they're happy. When they're smiling. Without thinking, even Kumasawa caught Golda's high spirits. The kitchen had a very nice smell and atmosphere about it, truly refreshing for so early in the morning. A complete 180 from what's going on, like, what, a couple, maybe 100 meters away? I don't know how far away the guest house is. Then, Kanon came back in the usual bad mood he always had from the moment he woke up. Why is my boy so sour? Kanon and Genji were in charge of getting many things ready for the morning, such as opening the curtains. However, Kanon had been alone today, so it had been much longer than usual. I missed my fucking boy, man. I haven't seen him in a while. Wait a minute. Genji? Oh shit, don't tell me my boy Genji's dead. No way. Yeah, obviously not. With all of this going on, he says he's like, he is furniture. He really believes when he says that shit. There's no fucking, he's dead as shit. Him and Kinzo maybe. Well, no, Kinzo's already dead. Okay, yes. My boy's gonna find Genji and who else haven't we seen? Maybe Genji and I don't know, fucking, we haven't seen Natsuki or Kraus just yet. Maybe one of them two, or maybe all of them. Even though Golda had asked her to get the serving cart ready, Kumasawa followed nimbly after Kanon, skillfully skipping work. Wow, bitch. As Kanon muttered about how Golda was the one who slept in all the time, he headed for the servants' sleeping quarters. Fuck. Where's the servant quarters? Last night, Kanon had dozed off while in the middle of his late night shift. I can't believe it took me until now, Where do they sleep? Servant quarters. I know they have like that little room where the servants work, but that only has like a sofa in it. Do they have their own dedicated rooms? Why did I never think about this? Falling asleep in the servant room. Yeah. Shannon had been kind enough to put a blanket on him, which is very sweet. But that had just made it so warm that he fell into an even deeper sleep. So he hadn't returned to his bed in the servants' quarters last night. Because of that, he hadn't met Genji even once this morning. Wow, dude. He knocked on the door. Dude, oh, this is gonna be a fucking locked room, isn't it? When Cannon was about to open the door, don't tell me he noticed blood or he noticed a fucking symbol. I'm calling it right now. He noticed something strange on the upper part of it. On the upper part of the door? So like almost on the roof, right, or the ceiling. Oh shit! What was that? Duct tape. What does that shit? Does that shit say burn? Does that say burn Castell? That says a G, right? Lambda Delta burn Castell, maybe? I don't know, man. A small strip of duct tape was stuck along the frame of the door, almost as though it was sealing the door shut. Furthermore, there were small slits made with scissors along the center of the duct tape. Oh, okay, like small indent. Okay, so that if you open the door even a slight amount, it would be torn in two. Also, written sloppily across the tape with a fine pen was what appeared to be someone's signature. Is that supposed to be an F or a T? It was written in a very elaborate and decorative manner. And if it was a signature, Kanon had no idea whose name was written. Please save that name in your head. He opened the door, ripping the duct tape. Nothing in particular happened when it was ripped, so the strange piece of duct tape was quickly forgotten. Yes. Oh yes, this is the room. The room was dimly lit. This is his, like... This isn't the room where he sleeps in? This is the room I was talking about earlier. The room they all well, not... No. I was talking about the another room. The bunk bed's lower bunk still had a lump under the blanket. Oh, they sleep in bunk beds? Can we see the bunk? I mean, I don't... Listen, call me crazy. I don't see where the fuck you would put a bunk bed here. Apparently, Genji was still sleeping. He was killed in his sleep. I noticed as soon as they showed the blood, they had the creepy sound, right? I heard like a magical, like some magic, like that sound effect that they use. There was a large, dark red stain on the blanket. Though this was one of the servants' blankets, even those were always kept clean. There was no way they would have a stain like this. Kanon hesitantly peeled back Genji's blanket, saw what was left of him, and was shocked into silence. Bitch, those fucking crooked ass teeth! Oh, again? Maybe someone's gone crazy, bitch!
いずれにせよ、厄介なことになるぞ。ベアトリーチェ様とナツキ様にご報告申し上げた方がいい。ベルフェは急いでルシネーに報告を。心得た。
After dashing out, Kumasawa caught Golda and Shannon over. Then, the new pair let out screams identical to the first two.
ちょっとゴーダ朝食の準備をサボっちゃダメ
What was I gonna say? Don't look at him. I thought she was gonna say something like that for a
そんな
second.
こと言ってる場合じゃないでしょ。2日目の朝食は決して静かに取れやしないってわけでは嫌な予感がする。現時だけで済まないかもしれない。屋敷内を確認するわよ。他にも何か起こっているかもしれない。
はいお姉様
Natsuki sprang awake at the sudden sound of the phone. Okay, if we're seeing this, then she's alive and I'm happy because I love her. To Natsuki, the fact that she'd woken up was surprising in itself. She had thought she was going to spend the whole night unable to sleep out of fear that the mysterious man might come in at any moment. Right, she should be... Man, oh, fuck. That fucker has my girl stressing. But at some point, she must have fallen asleep. Of course, she still didn't feel rested at all. As she groaned from the dull pain in her head, which hadn't gone away once since last night, she managed to get out of bed.
おはようございます、夏日様。
Oh, Lucifer.
おはよう。最悪の朝です。
Oh, my girl. Look at her, man. She's
私
beautiful.
も誰も部屋へ立ち入ろうとはしませんでした。そう。不審判をありがとう。
Even so, that didn't mean she had been able to sleep peacefully. The continued ringing of the phone made her headache throb even more strongly. Oh, already she just woke up and she has a headache?
あと、良くないご報告が妹たちから。
Okay.
良くない報告は後にしましょう。
Right.
先に電話を取ります。
Okay, good. Natsuki shook her head to wake herself and picked up the receiver. Okay, bitch, it's gonna be that fucker speaking whatever the fuck. Then she regretted not listening to Lucifer's bad news first, because it's even worse news, is it? Because she wanted the first thing she heard about on this horrible morning to be something better than this. I knew this fucker, dude. This fucker. That voice told her this horrible morning, this nightmare was still not over.
約束は守りましたよ。
Who is this fucker and can he leave my girl alone?
私はずっと部屋にこもっていました。もちろん電話もしていません。
でも、この電話には出ちゃったよ。
Oh, look at you, you fucker. It's because she knew you were gonna call.
それは。
He's just trying to fuck with her. What did I tell you? I knew it. I knew it. This fucker just wants to torture her in small little ways, right? Small little motherfucking ways. Until he gets to the big fucking idea, the thing that he really wants to do to her.
冗談だよ。この電話は母さん思いの僕からのモーニングコールだ。
Oh yes, you're very kind. Look at this fucker snickering.
人はどれだけ苦労する。
Yes! Why are you making fun of my girl? Well, we know why. Natsuki gripped the receiver so hard it creaked. Oh shit.
母さんが席を外してほしかった。
Wait, what if he's the one killing him?
おかげで準備もちろん主賓は
何を始めるつもりですか。
それは今日大丈夫。待たせないよ。もう始まってる。そうだ、ちょっと待って。声を聞かせたい人がいる。
Who could that possibly? I swear if it's Jessica, if it's a recording of Jessica, there was the sound, or Jessica herself, there was the sound of the receiver being jolted around. The phone was apparently being passed to someone else, but there was a clunking, clattering noise, as though it was taking a lot of effort to hand the receiver over. Who in the world was he giving the phone to? From what Natsuki knew of this man, no matter who he was giving the phone to, it couldn't be good news for her. Krause.
これを解け。卑怯者め。
あなたなの？
解け。解け。
It was, without a doubt, the voice of her husband. However, he didn't respond to Natsuki's voice. Perhaps he was bound somewhere in the darkness. Krause, not realizing that Natsuki was on the other end of the phone, repeatedly demanded that he be untied. How did this fucker get to Krause though? Krause is a big fucking dude.
あんたの夫はここにいる。目も耳も塞いでるからね。話はできないけど、無事なのは分かってもらえたと思う。
You can't fucking hear either.
夫を解放して。
明日には解放するよ。
Tomorrow.
2つ約束を守ってくれればね。
何ですか？
1つはあんたの夫を僕が預かっていることを秘密にすること。
Okay, bitch. What's number 2?
そのうちクラウスの姿が見えないと騒ぎになるだろうけれど。
Oh my dude, okay, wow. So number 1, she has to hide and conceal what happened to Kinzo, right? Number 2, now she has to do the same for Krause?
母さんは何も知らないから何も口出しできない。わかる。
Is that simple?
わかります。もう一つの条件は？
ちょっとしたゲーム。
A game?
今日の昼の1時になってな。屋敷の1階の一番手前の客室に入り、クローゼットの中に隠れている。
客室？
What the fuck?
どうして私がクローゼットの中などに？
Wait a minute, is he doing that so he could kill her and nobody will find the bitch's body? Because she's gonna be holed up in a place I don't think anyone would ever think of going to.
ちょっとしたかくれんぼだよ。誰にも見つからずにそこで1時間隠れていることができた。
What is that supposed to mean? Anyone finding you?
もし誰かに見つかったら、あっと負け。
負けたらどうだというのですか？
別に何もないよ。遊びってそういうもんでしょ。このかくれんぼに付き合ってくれたら、明日には夫を解放する。
This fucker is up to some weird shit.
その約束、本当に守るんでしょうね。
もちろんだ。母さんこそ守ってよ。約束を破れば、僕にはすぐにわかる。
Just then, there was a sudden, loud knock on the door to Natsuki's room. Her heart leapt automatically.
奥様、いらっしゃいますか？
Oh, okay, my
お
boy.
はようございます。
Ohio.
頼んでございます。奥様、どうかお目覚めよ。
The voices coming through the door were Kanon and Godas. The knock had been wild, and the voices a little shrill. It seemed that something strange had happened, and that they were agitated.
何？
I'm agitated. She's agitated. We're all agitated. Even the fucker on the phone is agitated.
使用人が来たようです。もう切りますよ。
僕の言いたいことは全部伝えたからね。
Fuck you.
じゃあ、
Just say that.
約束破ら
I know she wants to. Well, she's not that kind of woman. Never mind.
わかりました。あなたこそ。
Fucking hide and seek. What weird ass shit. Wow, bitch. Wait.
母さんがそれを決めるんだよ。僕に約束破らせないでね。母さん。
今日一日母さんを見てるからね。
Wait a minute. Whose voice was she imitating now? Clack? Lambda Delta slammed the receiver down on the antique phone. And then the phone exploded into bits and changed into a spray of gold, which became a group of gold butterflies and disappeared. That shit is so majestic. So it was this bitch the entire fucking time.
19年前の罪に怯えながらね。私のターンも順調よ。 さあベルもどうぞ。
Dude, they have one hell of a fucking game going on. Holy shit.
どうせ無駄なんだろうけど、警察通報を通じて内外の通信可否を確認。外線は使用不能、内線は使えるみたい。台風で船も使用不能。クローズドサークルの出来上がりかしら。
No. Boats can't be used. What about submarines? The typhoon, what if they just avoid it? They get lucky.
これでベルンが完全に探偵に昇格ね。
Police intervention sometimes robs the detective of some of her authority. However, with the construction of the closed circle, the existence of police had been denied forever. From now on, the authority of the detective piece would be completely guaranteed.
はいはい、ありがとう。ごちそうさま。それじゃ早速ゲーム開していこうかしら。
Erica, you're the main character. Now, begin! I'm playing around.
5人も殺されたのか。
はい。
ゲストハウスの4人と全く同じだった。しっぱりとひどく鋭利なハンマーで髪を切られている。
僕が深夜勤のために不審者に気づけないなんて。
自分を責めるんじゃねえ。
もし犯人が待ち合わせだったら命を落とした自分だったかもしれないんだぞ。
その上電話も通じるときた。この天気じゃ船も乗り上げずえらいことになったで。
ということは犯人はまだ私たちの身近にいる可能性が高いということだ。
何ですか。台風が過ぎて船が迎えに来るの。私たちは幻と一緒にいるというわけです。
Yes, that's exactly what it means, Kumasawa. We are all fucked.
大丈夫。
Thoroughly fucked.
こうしてみんなで一緒にいれば犯人だって手出しは。
しかもだってそんな。
みすみす殺されはしないわよ。ジョージの仇を撃ってやる。許さない。誰が犯人だろうと何が理由だろうと私はジョージの仇を許さない。殺してやる。
はい、皆さん、泣き言は十分ですか。ご静粛に。倉石さんはまだお見えにならないのですか。
Wait a minute, is this where we ended?
さっきから電話を
In chapter 1, I mean? Or 0? Or whatever the fuck?
外れていると。
呼び出し音をします。聞こえていないはずはないのです。
どういうことだ。まさかクラウスおじさん。
やっぱりね。こんな時に不謹慎だけれどもゲストハウスの4人にゲンジさんが5人もう1人いるだろうと予想はしたけど。どうしてそんなことがわかるのよ。
I'm telling you, man, everyone's getting so expressive now. Even more.
あんたがジョージを殺したの。
やめなさいエヴァさん。今はそんなことをしとる場合では。
Eva got agitated and grabbed at Kyrie. Nanjo stepped in between them and it grew into a bit of a scuffle. Watching this, Erika smiled condescendingly and shrugged.
でしょうね。ゲストハウスの現場を拝見した時点で6人の犠牲は読めば当然です。4人しか死体がなかったのであとの2人は誰だろうと思っていたくらいなので。
なんでそんなことがわかるのよ。あんたが殺したの。あんたがジョージを。
よさんかエヴァ。
She's just blaming everyone now.
エリカちゃん、キリエさん、なんでそんなことがわかるんや。 適当なことは言わんといてや。
Yes, be careful with your words.
ゲストハウスの犯行現場に書かれていた落書きは魔法陣、魔法と殺人から連想するものを考えた。
そうか、大地は
どういうことですか？
いえ、私にもさっぱり。
そういうこと魔女め。
これはやっぱりベアトリーチェ様の仕業なの。
あんたたち何を勝手に分かった風なこと言ってるのよ。私にはさっぱり分からないわよ。説明なさいよ誰か。
だからエヴァ、少し落ち着くんや。
そういうことです。あの犯行現場の魔法陣を見た時点で、この殺人が自分の第一の場合をなぞった見立て殺人なので、犠牲者は6人があることはただ魔法陣がそこに存在するだけで、フルガエルからこの程度の整理が可能です。
Okay.
いかがでしょうか。
Look at her stroking her own ego. My thoughts are that you are a little
クラウスおじさん
condescending, a little bit.
殺されてる。
Conceited is the word.
そうだと
I
は
think-
決めつけられません。ここに来ないのはクラウスさんだけではありませんよ。もう一人いらっしゃいます。
Really? Who else? For just an instant, Natsuki's brow furrows, as she feared she wouldn't be able to avoid the topic of the study.
親父、おい、
Oh yes.
誰か書斎には連絡したんだろうな。もちろんお電話させていただきましたし、ノックもさせていただきました。ですがそのお返事はなく。
当主様はご自身の研究に
No, bitch! At this point, just pull the, just fucking throw the trump card.
電話が切られ、受話器を外しノックを無視することになります。
しかし呼び出し音はちゃんと。
とにかく主人の無事を確かめる方が先です。主人の寝室へ行きましょう。
Dude, she's acting suspicious. Maybe this is probably how fucking Erica. Natsuki stood up in a flurry and dashed into the room, suspected her. Into the corridor. Rudolph and the others immediately chased after her, telling her to wait.
さあさあ、皆さんもご一緒に。三流ミステリーも三流スクラッパーも単独行動を取る人から知りますよ。はあ、今やこのゲームもまたしかり。レアとっては三流だわ。
Is she? Oh, but in third-rate disaster and action movies, isn't the one who act alone? Isn't the ones who act alone who survive, isn't it? Did I read that wrong? Weird. I'm not giggling, at least not now.
もはや碑文は解かれたというのに、誰が望んでこんな真似を。
ラムダデルタ教の駒と思われる19年前の男とやらの仕業かもしれません。おっと、そんなはずもありませんが。
これまでのゲームですでにレアとは赤き真実で金像が消えて18人以上は存在しない、18人目は存在しないと明言しているわ。そして今回はそれにエリカが1人加わって19人目が存在しないと明言されてる。19年前の男とやらが島に入り込む余地なんてないわ。
I feel like we can maybe start to like ignore some of that.
ならば19年前の男は既存の人間の中の誰かが語っているか。
Yes.
その中
But who the fuck could it be? George? The motherfucker's dead. Battler? I highly fucking doubt it.
赤で19人目が許されずとも そこに19人目を紛れ込ませるなど、わらわならば魔女ならば造作もなくやってのけるがな。面白くなってきたぞ。もうしばらく様子を見させてもらうとしよう。
Man, haven't seen her do that face in a while.
それにしてもラムダデルタ教にベルンカステル教め、いよいよに我がゲーム版にて好き放題を始めよった。
分かっていてお招きになったのではありませんか。
退屈を嫌うわ。わらわも魔女なれば同じこと。この想定外さえも魔女なれば想定される喜びである。よかろう、受けて立とうぞ。
受けて立つのは上等だけど、まずい流れね。分かってる。
ですが様子見を気取る段階とはやや言い難いかと。
分かっておる。このままいけば金蔵の存在が再び蒸し返される。書斎の結界も長くは持たぬ。
それだけじゃないわ。さらに厄介な展開になるのよ。いいね。1手、2手、3手、詰めて、夏日。
Gap whispered something into Beato's ear. Beato's mouth slowly widened into a crooked smile. Oh, there it
エリ
is.
カが全員を集めたのはむしろ我らには好都合です。観測者の及ばぬすべての闇は我ら悪魔のもの。今を逃しては打てぬ手かと。
夏日はキング。動けぬ駒なれど取らせることは許されぬ。先手を取る。ここで失すると夏日が詰められる。ガート頼めるか。
もちろん。密室トリックもアリバイもミステリーなんて私がまとめて風穴を開けてあげるわ。任せて。私が始末する。
A pitch black hole opened up in the floor and swallowed up Gap along with the chair she sat in. Wow, even the chair. Then a hole opened in the ceiling and spat just the chair back out, dropping it back into its original spot. Why would she do something that crazy? She's so fucking... What's up with the theatrics?
厄介なことになりましたな。
She's so flamboyant.
なるほどな。ラムダデルタ教にかかってはわらわすらも駒に過ぎぬというわけだ。序盤は駒の損得より展開を急げというかなわぬな。そうはさせぬぞ。夏日はわらわの仕える最後の主。このベアトリーチェと契約する限り決して取ることかなわぬ駒と知れ。
クラウスの部屋は空っぽ、ベッドは空っぽだったけど、それまでの5人の殺害現場と同じでおびただしい血痕が残されていたわ。でも死体はない。
Yo, I just got to thinking, what if So, the Kraus that we heard on the phone wasn't even Kraus either. It was her.
ないわね。
じゃあ死んでない。
ないかもね。
Look at them looking at each other.
どういうこと？
This is Kraus's
ど
room?
こにいるのよ。
この血まみれのベッドじゃな。考えたくねえがゲストハウスと同様に首を切られて殺されたと考えるのが妥当だろうさ。でしょうな。この出血量では無事を考えるのは難しい。
しかし旦那様はどちらに？
large amounts of blood stained the bed, but there were no similar marks on the floor of the room. What? That's kind of crazy. Whether Krause had run to safety somewhere after being seriously wounded, or whether he'd been killed and carried somewhere. They had no clue where this somewhere was. Look at her, man. She's so worried. Natsuki knew. Though Krause had been sounding far from his best over the phone, he at least hadn't sounded like he was on the brink of death. In other words, those bloodstains had to be a ruse. That might not even be blood. Just what is that man thinking? What is this all for?
なんてこって第一の晩にどこにお生贄にっちゅうのか。
クラウス兄さんには自分の部屋の扉を施錠する習慣はないの？私たちは今鍵を開けずに入ったわ。
いえ、旦那様には施錠の習慣が。
当家では奥様のお言いつけにより公共の場所以外は施錠が義務付けられております。クラウスおじさんの部屋を開けられる鍵は何本ある？
旦那様のお持ちの1本の他にマスターキーが。ああ、鍵がどうこうなんてくだらない論争です。源氏さんがすでに犠牲になっていることをお忘れですか？彼のマスターキーは紛失しています。ですから今やこの屋敷のすべての鍵は意味をなしません。つまらないですね。つまりこの屋敷には密室殺人は今までもこれからも存在しないということです。
What? You could just say that right now off the rip? That's kind of right though, I guess.
やれやれ、退屈なミステリーになりました。
Erica laughed off this murder in disappointment, as though it was something she was watching on TV. I can't understand her. Why is her world so different from ours? It's almost like she's a being from another dimension. Oh, really?
ジェシカもこんな風に。
そうよ。ジョージと同じに首を切られて。
ジェシカに合わせて。私ジェシカの顔さえ見てないんです。ジェシカ
待てや、ナシーさん。まだ犯人が近くに潜んでいるかもしれない。一人にさせるのは危険だ。
Natsuki flew out of the room and dashed towards the guest house this time. It was only natural. After all, she still hadn't even seen Jessica's last face. Everyone probably thought that was the reason. Of course, that was at least half of what was on Natsuki's mind. The other half was her desire to shift their attention away from the study. Strange crimes had occurred, the gold had been discovered, and some relatives had even recommended Battler to be the next head. Even in these twisted circumstances, she had to protect Ginzo's secrets. Ah, my head. If it should split from this pain... That noise, bitch! Let it burst this very moment. Burst open like a balsam flower? Then I won't have to suffer any longer.
では皆さん、
I feel like she's
さ
suspecting
んの
it.
ためにも一度ゲストハウスへ戻りましょうか。死に顔を見たって何かが進展するわけではありませんの。
Huh, you think so?
お前には心って
Right.
ここだ。何ですかそれ。
Look at the faces they're making. Seeing her daughter Ter's dead face wouldn't bring Jessica back to life, nor would it heal Natsuki's anguish. On the contrary, she would probably wail, wasting a considerable amount of time before being able to think properly again. That probably sums up Erica's screwed up arguments. Objectively speaking, I guess you could say that, yeah. Seeing her dead face won't advance the story.
進展するのよね、それが。ベアとの駒たちが面白い変化をもたらしてくれたわ。
Natsuki flew into the cousin's room on the upper floor of the guest house, and was struck dumb by the blood-stained beds and the eerie magic circle which looked like it might have been drawn with the victim's blood. She's not here?
ジェシカはどこです？ジェシカ！
そこのベッドに。
ベッド？どこに？ジョージはどこなの？
What the fuck happened? Are the beds not there? Or they're not
おい
there?
おい、
The bodies are gone?
どういうわけだ。
この部屋はちゃんと施錠していきましたよね。これで犯人がマスターキーを持つことが確実となりました。またしても私の推理通り。
そんなことはどうでもいい。どこに行ったんだ。みんなのジョージの兄貴たちの遺体はどこに行ったんだ。
面白い真似を。
さあさあ、ほらほら魔法よ。
So this is how they fucking play this game.
ベアとのどこのカープが魔法で死体をどこかへ隠しちゃったわ。
私たちは全員で一緒に行動していた。だから全員にアリバイがあると。
あなたの推理はこうでしょ。実は4人は死んでなくて死んだふりだった。それでみんながいない間にどこかへ身を潜めた。正解かしら。
誰の死亡宣言をも赤では出す気ないんでしょ。
当然よ。ベアとのパーと違って私は緑に赤をサービスしたりしないわ。
なら喜んで青き真実を使わせてもらうの。
Okay.
この程度のこといくらでも抜け道は思いつくもの。
I thought she was gonna use the red, I really did. But if we're going with this,
はい
well,
はいどうぞ。青き真実タイム。
まず考えられる一つ目、実は犠牲者は死んでいなかった。死んだふりをしてこっそりどこかに隠れたのよ。何しろあんたは誰の死亡についても赤き真実で宣言してないものね。
たとえ傷口ばっかり見せられちゃっても赤くだけそうくるわよね。基本よね。でもダメよ。赤き真実なんてサービスしないわよ。何しろゲームの最後10月5日24時にちょいと1個し否定すればいいんだもんね。魔女側は有利だわ。
really, that's it?
これで終わるところでしょうけどベルも違うわよね。
当然こんなのは誰もが思いつくくだらないねってまだ続けるわよ。二つ目、遺体はクラウスが運んで隠した。
Okay, I didn't even think about
さ
that.
らってどこかに監禁されてるように演出されてるけど実際はフリーなのかもしれない。クラウスにアリバイはないの。クラウスが彼らの死体を隠したのよ。
ああ、そうよね。赤き真実でクラウスの監禁を宣言したわけじゃないのよね。言うもんね。敵を騙すには味方から。夏日に自分が囚われてるように嘘をついたっと。他には
三つ目、そもそも死体が別人。犠牲者そっくりの身代わり死体よ。ジョージたちは最初から隠れていてその後に身代わり死体を片付けた。
What a thing to say.
死体は最初から死んでるから島の人数にはカウントされない。
何それ、超イカす。つまりあれだけの人間が寄ってたかって死に顔を見て全員が全員身代わりの死体を見抜けなかったと。
赤き
真実をあんたが行使しない以上、全員が全員遺体の身元確認を誤認した可能性だってあるわ。
Yes, in their delirious
あ
states.
んたに誰も人物を誤認しないって復唱要求に応える気があるなら直ちに引っ込めるけど。
嫌ですよーだ。そんな挑発には乗らないわよ。赤き真実はね、もったいぶるから効果的なのよ。たくさんの青き真実の中からたった一つだけを選び赤で叩き切る。そしてその他全ての青き真実はそれが正しかったのかどうかも明かされないまま闇に葬られて消える。その闇こそ魔女の世界。あんたに与えられる真実なんて何も存在しない。
この子バカそうなふりしてなかなかだよ。決して挑発に乗りやしない。魔女の闇ってもんが何か本当のゲームマスターのベアトよっぽど理解してるじゃない。そしてどうやらガーティもそれをよく理解してるみたい。この死体消失の一手、ラムダとベアトの双方にとってなかなか有効だわ。とりあえず私の死体消失について思いつく仮説を3つほど挙げてみた。1つの謎に対し3つの青き草だから3つのうち1つを否定すればいいわけじゃない。3つのくさびを全て抜かない限りこの謎は貫かれる。それが魔女狩りの鉄則。くさびは1本じゃ全然足りない。くさび1本で死んでくれるのは吸血鬼程度。魔女に比べる吸血鬼なんて貧弱なもの。本物の魔女くさびでめった刺しにしなきゃ死なないの。殺し屋だってそうでしょ。殺し屋が綺麗に一発の弾丸だけで相手を殺すなんて日本の漫画の中だけよ。本当の殺し屋なら男性が空になるまで全弾ぶち込むわ。あんただってそうするでしょ。無論私もよ。でもこんなのこの子のことだから赤一つで一刀両断にしてくるでしょうね。彼らの死亡宣言とクラウスの無実、この辺をちょいちょいっと赤で語るだけで私のくさびは3本とも抜けてしまう。まあそれでいいんだけどね。赤き真実が出てきたらそれに合わせて再び青きくさびでめった刺しにしてやるだけのことそれが魔女のゲームの進め方ああ楽しい。バトラのまどろっこしい戦いにずっとイライラしてきたから本当に楽しい。ええ、分かってるわラムダ。こんなの第一の番の最初の最初。前哨戦でしょそうでなくっちゃ。あんたをボロボロに負けさせて悔し泣きさせて床を這いつくばらせてかきむしらせて
They always say shit like
そ
this.
の可愛らしい髪の毛を掴んで床になすりつけながら笑い転げる楽しみが薄れちゃうもの。
The servants' quarters in the mansion had once again gone silent. There lay Genji's body, which had been covered completely with a blanket. In the ceiling of this cramped room, a pitch-black hole appeared. Captivating legs sprouted out, and gap floated downwards.
ごめんねゲンジ。そこでゆ
You're
っくり
captivated.
永眠してたいだろうけどそういうわけにはいかないわ。後ろ宮家の最後の当主夏日に死してなお奉公するためにここから消えてちょうだい。
Gap stripped off the blanket as she said this to Genji, who was sleeping peacefully, so she's the one who got rid of the bodies. Then she stared at the deep wound in his neck.
見事な切り口じゃない。まさに一刀で切ったのね。 こんな真似ができるやつが権限しているの。いやね。これが可能な心当たりのあるやつにろくなやつがいないわ。
It goes without saying, but witches are capable of summoning beings with a strength proportional to their own rank. The great lady Lambda Delta called that being here as the trump card 19th person. Even optimistically speaking, this is on par with Renault and me. Really? A pitch black hole opened in the bed and Genji disappeared as though the bed had swallowed him up. Just like the four in the guest house, Genji's corpse was hidden in some unknown place. It was a place that no one could find, located neither within this world nor the next. No longer would anyone be able to find their bodies. No longer would anyone be able to confirm their deaths. Genji's body was carried to that place of endless silence, where it would never be disturbed.
死体がなければ行方不明。行方不明扱いとは犯人と疑われ、同時に犠牲者とも疑われる。開かれることの決してない猫箱の中の暗闇こそ、我ら悪魔と魔女の住処。
Look at how they play a
一歩遅かったわね、名探偵さん。
Gap licked her lips and swallowed.
どうしてガープ様は死体を隠して回るのかしら。知らない。でもガープ様ってなんかかっこいいよね。なんていうのか惚れるわ。
バカ言ってんじゃないわよ。見張りはどうしたの？人間たちがゲストハウスから戻ってくるわよ。ガープ様。
ええ、退散するわよ。これでなんとか夏日に逃げ道を作れたはず。
Gap jumped into a pitch black hole which had opened near her feet. Mammon shouted, "I'm going in too," and jumped in, followed by Asmo, who said, "Me too, and hopped in, giggling. What about Satan? As Satan hesitated over what to do, the hole closed.
煉獄の七姉妹ともあろうものが子供みたい。バカみたい。
Oh, she just disappeared? Satan went bright red and got angry all by herself, then turned into gold butterflies and disappeared like normal. There must be a crazy sensation doing
ガ
that
ープ
shit.
が5人の死体を無事に移動させたようです。
ご苦労であった。しかし次が厄介であるぞ。
源氏の死体の消失に多少は驚くでしょうが、彼らの次の関心は再び金蔵の書斎に向くでしょう。
書斎の鍵は2本。夏日が全て所持していて幸運であったな。もし源氏に1本を預けたままであったなら、それは今頃ラムダデルタ教の手に落ちていたであろう。
どうやらラムダデルタ教は金蔵の死を隠すつもりはさらさらないようですな。お嬢様が築き上げてきた堀も塔も城壁も全て見捨てて戦われるつもりのようだ。
おかしな三角対決になったものよ。我らはそれぞれが敵であり、時に意図せずして連携しておる。三つどもえが2対1になったかと思えば、逆に1対2にもなる。ほらあれだ。中国のバトルロイヤル。三国志とやらに似てるとは思わんか？
天下三分の計ですな。お嬢様にしては随分と高尚な例えですよ。
Long Zhong plan?
三国志って3つ国があったではないか。義と呉と蜀だったか？まるでわらわたちであるな。はて、最後に勝ったのはどの国であったか？
Maybe none of them.
最後に統一したのは秦です。お嬢様のおっしゃられる三国は全て滅びました。
Ah, alright, so battler.
ほう、これは知らなかった。
てっきり三国のどれかが勝者になったとばか
So much for other
り。義
fighting
が
then.
圧倒的に優勢だったのでは
Resulted in nothing.
帝位を腹心に奪われ、国を乗っ取られて滅びました。
The Sima clan, a noble family that Cao Cao invited in as advisors. I know I'm saying that wrong. Eventually gained central control in a power struggle and took over the country.
参謀として招き乗っ取られるか。面白いぞ。ラムダデルタ共鳴。
Invited in as advisors. Wow. So that's how they fucking sneaked in.
失礼いたします。人間たちは使用人控室にて現時の死体消失を確認。ゴールドスミス卿の書斎に移動を開始しました。
Okay, bitch.
リーチェ、来るわよ。
What are you gonna do now?
来るがいい。人間どもに絶対と奇跡の魔女どもね。
If this is a three-way fight, then the three sides are the humans, the witches, and what are we? If the object of our protection is Kinzo's
我
illusion,
らは幻か。